I wasn't going to make my pit stop, but I know if I didn't, I would have to go later, and you don't want that. You don't have to go with me in the restroom, and you don't want me to leave my life. Who's out here? S is here. I'm fine. I'm fine. It was, actually, it was a bit more traumatic than I expected it to feel. Because, I expected it all along. So, and I've been supposedly prepared for it, but, when it actually happens, it's a little different. My phone's a little crooked. Hold on, I'm moving it. A little crooked. All right. So, we'll talk about it a little bit later. But the more I looked at it and looked at mistakes I made and things I shouldn't do, first of all, and I'll talk about it again because there's not that many people here. The way he pulled my sign and threw it on the ground, remember how I ensconced myself with a protective barrier of the bench, my wagon, and my tripod in the tree? Well, he did that to make me come out, and I shouldn't have. But, I wasn't thinking in the moment.
Don't give it to this kid.
And the only reason I didn't dial 911 sooner is I knew I was going to have to leave my life to do it. Today I have a charged phone that I can call 911 on. This guy, so I'll talk about this again. I was just in the pizza place and I mentioned it. I said, did you see the cops out there the other day? He didn't work. He said he knows, he's been here for about 2 years. He said, like, the people that kind of like probably are mentally unstable, the street people, he knows them all, but they'll disappear for about 3 months. He said that's about how long they're institutionalized, and then they all get out and he'll like see this whole group come back after about 3 months. So that may be why I haven't seen him, but because that's about how long I've been. February, March, April, May. Yeah, that's about right.
This is how bad it was.
But the cops didn't recognize him either.
Play basketball.
So.
And I had like a personal basketball place and everything. And I was going to his place.
But we'll talk about it again because that was interesting news because I was wondering how long he'd be in for. And if they get him on a regular, charge, he'll be out quick. But if they get him on mental charge, he might be gone for 3 months. So I hope that's the case. I think he might try to come back because he did not like me. All right, we're here, guys. Set your stopwatch for me. Did you guys know that fundraising is against LRH policy? He said, do not fundraise, do not take out loans to do anything in Scientology. David Miscavige is squirreling LRH Tech. And yes, they are. Okay, I'm gonna ensconce myself again. Hang on. It's a little bit more in the sun than I'd like to be. You know what, maybe no. I like having the bench behind me. I think that's what saved me too. The reason he didn't get physical is I was behind my stuff. You couldn't see it. I had the camera way too close to me. I need to learn to step back. So if you look, here I'll show you. This is what I do. Let me back up and not fall. So I have the bench, then my tripod in there and the tree, so they can only get me right here. So I think that's what helped me quite a bit. If you saw Colin, he's kind of leaned on the bench between us. Okay, hold on, I gotta shoot, I forgot to bring it up. I leave one section closed so I can carry it here, and I don't have to do a lot of setup. Let's try that again. You won't be looking at my belly. There we go. Well, you weren't looking at me anyway. Let's see. Hey, you made no mistake. He was in the wrong. Yeah, hindsight's 2020, and that's what I talked about. Yeah, they are slow today. I was talking to you guys. All right, well, let's go fix that. Fundraising is against LRH policy. Borrowing money is against LRH policy. The Ideal Org program is against LRH policy, but you guys are too young to know that. You need to study LRH policy because he's also combining orgs and closing celebrity centers, which LRH said was treason. Wow, guess they don't worry about me too much. There's some, oh, she's getting a book. There she goes. You can't see her, but I can. I don't know why they're starting with the side. Dianetic. Now, if you see, Dianetic says, oh, that's in Spanish. It says Science of Modern Man or something. Well, that is a change that LRH made. Or not LRH. David. David Miscavige even changed things in the Dianetics book in 2007. And we're going to go over that. Anybody eating? I'm early today. It's hard to see. You can only see my reflection. I can see a little bit. But they don't know that. I think I saw it last time I was here. Yeah. You see it? Ooh. That made me ill. Watch out. Okay, they got that. Let's go back and make sure that they got the books. They might be leaving the bookstore open because nobody's in there. I thought it might be funny to buy a Dianetics book off of them one day. And I think, what's this one? These are all in Spanish. Isn't that interesting? The ones by the window are in Spanish. Is that the way to happiness? Or oh, sorry guys. I'm hitting the, I have the tripod all open. Oh, there she goes. There she goes. That was float today. Blind tech fail. Blind tech fail. They only had one person. Nobody's helping? That's not very nice. Alright. Let me get set up, you guys. Watch out, I'm going to be shaking the camera a little bit, getting set up. Again. I'm back in the shade a little bit more, which puts me behind the tree, but like I said, I'm not too worried. I'll bet that guy isn't going to come back for a while. And they still have that sign out. I think their other sign got ruined. Or they knew nobody was going to come in to do a personality test, so they put that out instead. Whew, it's getting a little hard to breathe. I didn't get my inhaler yet. Okay, let's make sure I'm not. Okay, I was a little bit zoomed. Yeah, I've heard about that they target Latinos. Did you see what they're doing in LA today? So, I got my phone charged. It's not on service, but any cell phone can call 911. And it's funny because I had, at one time I had 3 other phones with me that were all old and I was trying to film from and it just didn't work. I'm gonna do a little bit of house. Oh! Hold on. Wagon fail, wagon type fail. Wagon fail. Oh, crap. The back tire fell in the hole. Alright. Thing is, if I stay here, I'm behind this tree and I don't really like it. Let's move back over here. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Right, we're on the other side. I'm gonna have to get a cover for my wagon just for a sun, like a sunshade. It came with a bungee cord, some bungee cords, so I think I'm gonna get some. Oh, got a ringing in my ear. Woo. I hate it when that happens. I haven't had enough water today. I'm also going to try out my mics later. Why did I open that? Walmart's trying to sell me something. Go away. Put on Do Not Disturb and lower the notification levels down. So I don't understand why I still get notifications if I put on Do Not Disturb. Hi, Fluffer Squirrel. Good to have you. When there's more people, I'm going to talk about last week a little bit more. What I learned. I know. S says, how are they staying open? Literally nobody goes in there. They can't close. It's treason. Hi, Brian. Been seeing you around the comments. I swear there's a group of us that stalk each other. But that's what the SBTV community is. Yeah, my phone totally lied to me last week. After I hung up with 911, it said I was live. So I'm over here filming the whole arrest and didn't get the whole thing. So that's another reason. Well, me too, Brian. I mean, that's the only reason I have the time that I have. Hi, Lori. And my analytics tell me my audience is 45 and up, mainly about my age and older. And that's because, we're retired or we're disabled and we have the time. I mean, if I hadn't been disabled and stuff and I was working, I wouldn't be able to do this. Because I'm gone from the house at minimum 6 hours. It's usually more though. Poor hubby though. It's too hot to leave the dogs outside. So as soon as I left, they started whining and woke him up. Alright, I've had quite a bit of water. But I'm gonna later on, more towards the end when there's not much going on, I'm gonna attach my mic with Velcro to the tripod. I know. My puppies are spoiled. They're not outdoor dogs anyway. They hate to be left outside. They will come right back and whine and scratch at the door. And they lay on our bed. We have to change our bedding like every few days. I wash my comforter so much that they fall apart. Because I don't like the hair. Well, I have a roller for the dog hair, which is amazing. I do that every night. But it's summer, so they're shedding. And it's... Thanks, Lori. That helps me. It really does. Y'all coming and giving me your time really does help me and made me want to come back out. I didn't come back out. I tried not to go more than 2 days in between. So it was Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So that's good. But let me sleep. Yeah, Brian, exactly. My dogs let me sleep in my bed. Yeah, exactly. My one dog, the way she wakes me up, if I'm really asleep and she can't wake me up, she lays her head on my neck from behind because I always sleep on my side. So her head's right here, her face is right here, and she just lays there and whines. And she has this weird whine. It's like somebody dying. So their door's cracked. We're going to have a lot less foot traffic because school's out for a little while. I'm sure there's going to be some summer classes starting up eventually. Yeah, she's a sweetheart. They all are. I've got an extra right this weekend, Bodie. I had him for a little while, but my son needed an emotional support dog. And he said when he came to visit, he's never had a dog excited to see him. I'm like, you've had other dogs? He goes, they didn't care. They did not care that I was there. I'm like, really? He never told me that before. So I said, Bodie, he's some sort of terrier. We thought he was Scottish Cairn Terrier. He's a loner. He's always sleeping in the kitchen by himself. I have to make him come and lay on the bed because I don't want him on the dirty floor and then getting on the bed. and he just doesn't care. And he's been so way back. My son took him, and it's been great because he's a great apartment dog because he just wants to lay around by himself all day. Well, he's doing something this weekend, and we have to babysit. So S says, every time you show up, it's another nail in the coffin for the Dodgers. Don't underestimate your impact. I know. I appreciate it. That's why I come, because one person in there might hear me say something that clicks. One person might get turned away that they might have been able to get. And that's all I want. You know, I know it's a big deal. It's a cult. SPTVFoundation.org. They'll help you get out. Kids cannot consent, and they shouldn't be audited. You just went in there with 3 kids. Oh, it's a good day for kids, I guess, Saturday. SPTVFoundation.org. It's ex-members that created a foundation in order to help people escape. Give them a look-see. They would be happy to help you get out. David Miscavige, your leader, drives a Bentley and you make $200 a week. They probably don't know what a Bentley is. I say that for people walking by sometimes that don't want to stop. I'll say stuff like that when I see people walk by. They just walk behind me. So they can hear how much they're making and what their leader is doing. Oh, you know what? I never put this on the right setting. It's always on top chat, not live. Okay, let's make sure I didn't miss anybody. Yeah, I wanted to bring stats are down. Yep, that's the point. I haven't finished that live, that interview that Pearl Snappy and Aaron did over the papers. Okay, it doesn't look like I missed anybody. I know it's Saturday. I probably won't get a lot of people on here, so I'll talk a little bit about what happened last week. So since I got home, you know, I was like, oh, he's just a crazy guy. You know, he just wanted to mess with me. And they do. It's gonna happen. There's a chance that that's all that was. But the fact that I've never seen him before. Neither the cops usually know the neighborhood people, you know, that give them issues. And I asked her, and as soon as I talked to Victim Services, they called me the next day and left a message. I have to call them. I need to get some information to request the report. And I am going to request the badge, the body cam, but somebody told me that can take months. That can take a while. Because what happened was, so let me explain what happened during the arrest. Because you guys saw what happened on camera. And then I talked a little bit about what he did after. So what he did after was, when Colin showed up and got between us, I know for a fact if he had not shown up, that guy would have got worse. Because he did get worse. He just did it down the street. So Colin got him to leave, and he went down the street and went in 2 other businesses. They probably yelled at him because he went in and came right back out. Well, then he started to come back towards me, and Colin was in front of the coffee shop. Yeah, it was scarier than I expected it to be. So he went way down there into a couple businesses, and Colin was standing in front of the coffee shop, and he came back this way, and he saw him. And so he veered and went in the street. Traffic stopped both lanes of traffic coming this way. Then he stopped the other side, and then he ended up sitting right over there on the wall with his back to the street because he knew the cops were coming. He knew. So this was interesting. So I think it was APD was the first car. The golf cart was UT police. Now they parked on either side of where he was. Well, as they're trying, and then a second APD car parked to the right of the golf cart. So after I hung up with 911, I walked over to film. And this guy threw himself on the ground, was throwing himself around and resisting arrest. My husband told me something about that too, because he's dealt with being security at night in North Austin and Waco. He said what it is they have to act as crazy as possible so they will get a decent amount of time inside so they get their 3 meals a day and a place to sleep. If they're not crazy enough, then they'll be out quick. And I said, well, that kind of makes sense. That's what he was doing. Well, as I'm filming, the golf guy in the golf cart got in the golf cart, backed up, and pulled in front of the guy while they're trying to cuff him. So I couldn't film. And it is sad. It is sad. I mean, I don't hate the guy. I really don't. At the time, the reason I was sounding so aggressive is I had a mean dog come after me one time with 2 dogs behind him. I was scared to death. I had a 4-year-old standing behind me in my own driveway. We were having a birthday party for my daughter. And he was a neighborhood dog, but he's always been alone. So he had the pack, and he was baring his teeth. He was coming at me, and I got mean, and I yelled at him, and the other 2 broke off. When they broke off, he left. So I knew I couldn't show weakness. I couldn't act scared or anything. So I tried to act, as aggressive back as I could. But some of your news. So he said, I was at the pizza place, which is way far down, and but you could have seen the cops. And I said, hey, did you see the cops the other day? We were just chatting. I had a few minutes to kill. He said, no, I didn't work that day. I told him why. And he goes, did you recognize him? I said, no, I've never seen him before. And nobody else had either. Because Colin's he's always in the neighborhood. So I don't think he knew him either. Maybe he did. I'll ask him next time. If he shows up today, I'm taking him to get a beer. Because if he hadn't got between us, that would have got way worse. And I didn't call 911 as quick as I should have because I didn't want to cancel my live. And this is why I wanted a 3rd phone on our service, just for doing this. So I'd have the data, and I want a phone number for it for people to be able to text and call, and I don't have to worry about trolls. So I'm still getting the 3rd phone. I may even get it tomorrow if they're open before I go live at 3. For the Dianetics thing. We'll talk about that later. He said that when they go in like that, they're in for like 3 months. He said you'll see people disappear, and then in about 3 months, a whole group will come back to the neighborhood. And he said what it is, they all just got released from their psych hold or whatever. So I was worried that guy would be out in no time because this is a liberal city. I don't know how their courts work, but I know they defunded the police. So I'm thinking if I don't see him in the next couple days, he's not coming back for 3 months, and hopefully by then he's chill. But because I'm worried that he'll be mad at me for calling. Yeah, Brandon. Hey, Brandon. Yeah. It was trippy. It really was. I won't lie. I really thought, I'm a realistic person. My husband's been to war since 1989. We had our, I'm not going to say it. We had our estate planning done at a young age. And we're very realistic people. And I knew what my husband had been through dealing with homeless and people on drugs and drug dealers and prostitutes up in North Austin. Waco, he doesn't have, all he has is some homeless people. And he said, even the homeless people in Waco are nicer than Austin. So, yeah, well, you saw what I did with my cane, right? That was always my plan. It's my protection. Hey, General Bo, what's up? We're just talking about the crazy guy last week. Their door is cracked. Hold on, I gotta take advantage of this. Sorry you guys have to look up my nose, but I have bifocals. Let's see. What do I need to say? I already talked about Ideal Org is squirrely tech, and you shouldn't fundraise. It's against fundraising and taking out loans or credit cards to help Scientology is against LRH policy. He would never allow that. The ideal orgs and taking money from members is also squirrel tech. Yeah, see, wait a minute, they can hear me. So, and you may not know this, but he's closed celebrity centers in Paris, combined them, and that's against LRH policy. He calls it treason to reduce or get rid of any Scientology organization. David Miscavige is running hot and loose with LRH policy and doing whatever he wants. And because so many people are gone that knew LRH and don't read policy, y'all don't know what's going on. Go read LRH policy and you will see all the stuff that he's doing he shouldn't be. He wasn't supposed to be leader. He enacted a coup over the two people that were supposed to take over Scientology per LRH. But once LRH died, David Miscavige ensconced himself and nobody questioned it. Where's his wife? There's no divorce papers anywhere, and she hasn't been seen since 2015. I think I'm wrong. No, not 15 years. She hasn't been seen since 2007 or 2008. Nobody has seen her. Things that make you say, They're gonna have to stand there and hold that door or lock it. Because it's windy, and if somebody else in the building, because I guess they got those thick windows. If anybody in the building opens and closes the door, it pops open that door. Miscavige's makeshift Scientology. Yep. There are way too many wackos. Yep. General Boa. Okay. So loads of UT drunk students. First time away from home. Psychotic, violent street people, and Scientology. I haven't had a problem with UT drunk students. I think I'm here too early in the day for that. The street people, yeah. Because the biggest reason I didn't think it was me, it was paid at me. Can't anyone do a welfare check? Well, you would think. General, they had somebody put a help me sign on a window, or at least help. And they called LAPD and they said, well, we'll go talk to security. Well, security would be the ones that took that person away and put them under guard and sent them away somewhere to the RPF that supposedly doesn't exist anymore. Ooh, there's like nobody out here. I hope summer classes start soon, because I used to say I felt safe because there was always a bunch of people around. I have 3 bottles of water. I should be good. I still haven't gotten my doctor to send in the inhaler though. Oh no, I meant students are at risk. Oh yes, from mental health cases wandering around at night. I know. Hopefully, because like I said, right now I would worry about them. During classes, there's so many people out. I worry about these other protesters. Yeah, I remember, but they didn't do anything. The thing that made me mad is I kept saying in different chats, call the FBI and tell them there are foreigners in there that they took their passports. That would make it an FBI case, because then it's human trafficking, because they brought them over from another country, and we know there are. So I tried to get people to do that were in there doing that, but I don't trust the FBI anymore. They're not what they were once. Ooh, it's warm. So I did order 2 fans, 2 USB rechargeable fans from Temu. And one is a stand-up fan that can stand here, and the other one goes around my neck and blows in my face. The only reason I got both is I was worried about the necklace fan being loud, and if it is, I won't be able to use it. And I can hold that too. And, oh, the reason I got that particular fan for hanging around my neck is you can put water in it. So I can have a ice cold water in a bottle and pour it into that fan. Because it's only 80 something. I didn't even check the weather today. But the last time I was here, it was like 83, 84 degrees. Well, it's going to be in the 90s, high 90s, and into the low hundreds come, because we're farther south than my house, so it's a degree or two warmer here than where I live. General, I heard in other streams FBI is involved, but not a sign of anything being done. Well, the problem is the only FBI case that we know about was Mike Rinder, and the elites that got out, the executives got out and talked to the police, and that's all they talked to them about. All they talked to them about was the abuse that the execs faced in Scientology, and not what was rampant child SA, people SA. They didn't talk about anyone else, and they gave over some of the documents. So, and Mitch Brisker has confirmed that he would. Oh, I talked to the FBI, but it wasn't about all the abuses in Scientology. So there's another black mark on Mike Rinder, because again, he had an opportunity he did not take. Brandon, Homeland Security 2, they follow trafficking cases and call them. Brandon, that's a good idea. It's so fun to see Popcorn Planet and SBTV crossover. When I saw Andy have Aaron on, I was like, yay! My two favorite communities working together. I thought that was honestly great. I honestly believe Mike Rinder has done a deal with the FBI. You can't believe a word he says. Well, here's my thing. If he's afraid of getting in trouble for testifying to what he did, I guarantee you any law enforcement he talks to, any judge, any DA, whatever, that he talks to and says, look, I can spill the beans on everything in Scientology, and I'm going to turn towards this corner because that's where they come from. Maybe we'll see them for a little longer. So, what was I saying? Oh, they would give him immunity. Yeah, Lori, Rinder doesn't want to go down. I know. And that's the problem. He's still working like a Scientologist. He got out, and that's all he cared about. He produced the TV show, and he does a blog every once in a while, and he does podcasts with Lily, his friend. They're all too high up to care about what happened to the lowly people. Because, Leah Remini, yeah, she was in the Sea Org, but she was from a celebrity family. And you know what we mean by that? We don't mean a celebrity in the real world. We mean a celebrity in Scientology. So if you're from a celebrity, like the Feshbeck girl, she got like an Aston Martin, some kind of car, and nobody gave her crap. And Nora, I don't know her last name. She got a pair of jeans for her birthday, and they sex checked her for it. What did you tell your parents or your mom that you needed, that we don't give you what you need, and blah, blah, blah. And yeah, that was stupid. Trying to make my sign easier. It's too hot and my shoulders are too screwed up to be. I definitely need some reflectics to cover my stuff. Because now, I am a little earlier than I usually am. I usually don't get here till now, and it starts to get shadier. Because I thought about coming earlier, but then I realized, okay, I can come earlier. It might be cooler, but the sun will be directly on me. So anyway, we're talking about Mike Rinder. At this point, he has cancer, so his karma caught up to Rinder. General, Mike never had cancer. What he had was possible cancer enzymes or cells. Anyone in the world can get, because I was mad they didn't do this for my mom. My mom has been overweight her whole life, and she had the same doctor for 20 years. And then she loses 100 pounds out of nowhere without trying. and he didn't test her. She smoked 2 packs a day her whole life, and he didn't do this enzyme test. And what that does is you can have the enzyme and not have cancer. It just means you might possibly get cancer. So they put him on a special medication to keep from actually getting cancer. So he never actually had cancer. And yeah, that's probably why he didn't come back and talk about it as much as he did. He had fluid in his lungs, probably from smoking his whole life. So the fluid was, making him cough, and in the fluid was cancer, like cells or enzymes. Don't quote me on which one, but I know about the enzymes because I wanted to be tested. There's so much cancer in my family that I want to be tested. Ooh, there's a Cybertruck, and it's not silver. We wanted one, and then they screwed it all up for us. So let me go back. Oh, with cancer. Laura, yep, he's disgusting. Yeah, I donated too. And remember the really nice, we hope you get better thing, which, he was sick. He did need an expensive medication. So that was still true. But Eli Lilly, which was funny because I guess they protested or had something against Eli Lilly because they're big pharma. But Eli Lilly came through and gave him the medication for free. So whatever he got from us was just extra. I'd love to know the conversations he had with the FBI. There's much more to it than he has stated. I'm sure he has got something in his back pocket for sure. Oh yeah, he did not tell them everything. There is no way. They would have raided them by now if he had. Special rules for VIPs, exactly. Possible indicators of cancer, yes. He had that, but not actual cancer yet. So the medication should, I believe, keep him from getting cancer, I don't know. But he never had to have chemo, and he never had to have radiation. What the fuck? So he's a real liar. Yeah. I never really watched him. I got in with Aaron. He had them all on the channel. They were like a group of friends. That's the only reason I was watching the other ones too. But, they talked funny stories, and there were nights that Mark did the spy files and talked about the files that Mike had. And they had people on for interviews. But they're not doing, to me, now I haven't watched them since last fall, but they haven't been doing the same work that others do on their channels. They haven't been, standing on the rooftops screaming about Scientology. So I had no problem unsubscribing and not watching ever again because I never read his blog. I never watched his podcast. I've never watched the Aftermath show because I get enough information from the people that were on the show that have channels that if I have to pay for it, I was given a free link, but if I have to pay for it, I'm not going to do it. Now I'm definitely not going to pay for it. As it was sold to the viewers, yeah. And I think the way that worked is he kind of let people think he had cancer. So many beautiful SPs contributed to it, then he insulted us all. Well, you know what? We did the right thing. We gave from our heart. I believe in karma. I'm a Christian, but I still believe karma will get you. General, well, I'm sure he's a miserable bastard anyway. Probably. He can't be happy. He's too busy going after people. I never watched him. Lori, yeah, I never really did either. I only did when it was the group of them. Like when they would do and it was fun. I watched them figure out how to do multiple streams. They didn't even know how to do it. Now I've got to figure out how to do a live stream and have people call in. I really want to do that. Yes, they do Jack. They talk about Tom Cruise. They know their days are numbered. They are irrelevant. That's what I said. And I said it in a super chat on Aaron's channel, and he kind of disagreed when I said that. That I said that they were obsolete and SBTV has moved on without them. I've said this many times. And he said, You know, and this is when he was upset about the look back window. My husband has a special anger against child SA and the perpetrators. And when he heard about Mike Rinder keeping the look back window to himself and not telling the Scientology community, he lost his crap. He lost it. He doesn't watch everything I do, but I try to keep him up on the important things. General. I watched a few moments of him and Leah and another woman that called her Lily, I think, and I saw how fake it all was, so I never went back to see any of them. I thought it was this grown man with gray hair going, Lily, Lily. I get, okay, fine, you have a nickname, but ugh. It really put me off. Lori, he's a culty right to his core. That's the problem. You can take him out of the cult, but you can't take the cult out. And I'm not going to say that across the board because we know it can be done. We know people who have gotten out and have changed their ways. I mean, even if they're not perfect people, none of us are. I have anger problems. I get loud. I yell and scream a lot. But a person I knew, she was my caretaker for 6 years. And she said she went to a couples retreat and they showed two couples arguing. One was being really quiet, but saying like really below the belt stuff. And the other couple was screaming and yelling. And he asked, which couple do you think is having a healthier argument? And everybody said the quiet one. He said, no, they're hitting below the belt. The loud ones are the more healthy because they're getting it out. They're not hitting below the belt. And so I'm like, I told my husband, I'm like, you see? Lori, yeah, if Aaron had him on, I'd watch. Yeah. That's the only time I did. And I always subscribe when there's a new channel. I went and have you seen their channels? They had 40,000, I believe, when all that happened. I believe they're just under that or they stayed the same. Thanks, Lori. General. Aaron must have disagreed because he is close to Leah. That's probably why. Yeah, that's the part that's sad. Because we all gave her a pass too, just like we did Mike Rinder. We knew all the awful stuff he did, but we figured he was doing work to get rid of Scientology, so we gave him a pass. And I assumed if he met people he'd done wrong, he had apologized. Come to find out, not really. The Lily was just creepy. He's a nasty, nasty piece of work. Yeah. So I said, he disagreed, and I talked about this before, that they're obsolete, that they had done good work. Okay, they did do good work in the past. They wrote books, they did a TV show, they had blogs. They were, one of the first group of ex-Scientologists to write books and stuff. And he was like the celebrity because he was probably the highest. Him and Claire were the highest, so Lori, well, Rinder didn't change. I don't think so. Lori, I'm a loudmouth yeller. Me too. That's why this is perfect for me. Hear me roar. General. Best always to speak your mind. Yeah, and when I get loud, when I get upset, it's usually like the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th time I've asked for somebody to do something before I lose it. And then when I do, I stay on subject. I just want to get this subject fixed. S. Leah has blocked Aaron and Jenna from Twitter. Didn't even have the decency to inform them. It's just nastiness, not what the community needs. Exactly. Lori says I agree. General. Sad there's people that are full of crap. Yeah, and I've said this time and time again. I'm going to take my hat off. I'm cooler with my hat off. Ooh, that's better. Lori, really? S. Jealousy? Yeah. I believe he wanted to be in control, like he was in Scientology. He couldn't stand. He was in control during the show. The only person he let probably be more in control was Leah. And when Aaron created the Aftermath Foundation with his friend Lewis, And he said he couldn't get people to join the board. So that's how the group that are on the board was asked. And every time you go to Wikipedia, it says he co-founded Aftermath. And when you try to change it, it gets changed back. And I think he saw Aaron's channel. He saw Aaron's popularity. He saw that he was really pushing so many other people to start channels. And it took away his viewership. It took away his perceived minimal amount of power. So him and Claire both, probably all of them. I don't think so much Mark, because that's not what he did in Scientology. I think Mark just went along. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know those people. But they worked really, really hard. I'm gonna have to turn back around. I gotta lean on the bench for a little while. Oh, good. Everything's in the shade now. That was quick. I want to get more in the shade. Oh, there we go. That'll work. Alright. So, that won't work. I gotta have it close, because I didn't like how close it was on my face last time, but I have to be close to read the super chats. What just said 50? I did it again. I forgot to plug in my phone. Well, I've got a battery backed up. Hold on. Holy crap. I always plug in my phone when I get in the car, because I watch video, I listen to videos, I listen to Natalie's recap on the way here. And if I don't plug it in, it uses all my juice. Thank God I got this awesome. So my husband and I have been together 35 years, since high school. So people, they're always saying, well, I don't want to get a vacuum cleaner for Valentine's Day. I'm like, if it's something I need to use, by all means, get it for me. So he got me that he loves the flashlights and O-lights. So this is my battery backup. And it's a flashlight. Pity too. He buys so much O-light that they gave me a free little red flashlight for Mother's Day with a card. Postcard, I should say. All right. Battery backup is plugged. I should be fine. I almost didn't see that where it said I only had 15% left. Can't believe I did that. All right. So, what I was saying is my personal opinion that they worked to get him out and make him look bad in secret, like Scientology does, because they didn't care. They probably knew it would get out. They probably didn't realize Aaron would put it all out. And now it backfired on them. Now, yeah, they're in control of the Aftermath Foundation. Nobody cares. General, I'm an Italian woman, so I'm a fireball. They're lucky I'm not there. Awesome, General. We'd love to have you out if you ever can. That's her name, Claire. Her too. She kisses ass. I think it's less that and more. She was second or third, I can't remember, in command under David Miscavige. She learned from the man. So, I think she has a little bit more going on there than we think. I mean, you gotta have cojones to stay with David Miscavige every day and do what he wants you to do. Us. We can all be jealous sometimes, but Mike Render has reverted to OSA 2.0 tactics. He should be apologizing to Miriam and getting therapy, not trying to destroy our community. I know, we all think that. General, oh nice, 35 years, wow, congrats, thank you. General, I think it's so cut. Oh, cute. How you speak about your hubby, it's cute. They wanted him to be shamed into silence, but they flunked. And he did for a little while. And I think he had to learn that he didn't have to do that anymore. And I think, honestly, it was a complete blessing for him. He got out from under them. He's opened up his wings. He's starting a new life. And I just think it was the best thing for everybody. Second, as general, we should get a protester bus. I know I have a travel trailer that sleeps 10. But we found out, we've had it since 2020. We bought it and then COVID hit. It needs fixed right now. But we found out our truck isn't strong enough to tow it. I looked, so my truck can tow the weight limit, but we found out it should have had like a different transmission. And what made me mad was even the person that sold it to us and the camper people told us it was fine. So I would need somebody else to tow it, and we could just go as long as we could help with gas and food. The reason I bought such a big one at the time, my daughter's family was 4 people, my son was 3, so that's 7, 8, 9, so that's 9. But then my daughter moved away. So anyway, I want to trade it in for a Class C that I can drive. But I also got such a big one for 2 reasons. I had planned on us getting the house all fixed up and renting it and moving into our camper full time. Even if Tom's still working and not retired, he has to drive an hour every day to work, hour and there and back. And there's a bunch of RV resorts up near Lake Waco that's like a 10-minute drive to him. And so I have 2 slides, which gives me an island in my kitchen, because I hate travel trailer RV kitchens. They never have any counter space. So we went from nothing to huge. We never should have. We should have got something lighter and easier. But my husband wants to build out a bus, because you can do whatever you want. But he doesn't have the time. He still hasn't got my sign done. So, anyway. So back to what we were talking about. Let's see. Oh, hey, from Sweden, Eliza or Elise? Probably Elise, because it's me. Claire Headley knows a lot more. Absolutely. She does. That's why she goes into trials. We all know she knows more. She says she knows more. She was second in command to David Miscavige. She says she witnessed violence. I would challenge that. As we know, violence was inflicted by the execs. Nobody has asked her that question. Claire plays the victim. True. They still haven't fixed the door. Nope. And that's all. Thanks for telling me. Freeloader debt is not enforceable in the real world because it's for church services. It is a donation. It is not considered a debt. You can leave anytime you want and get out anytime you want. I will take you to an airport right now. You can go anywhere you want. Just let me know. General. Lots of people living free now. Truck, van, car. Oh, I watch that stuff all the time. I originally wanted a van, but it's a little bit too small. Sweden is gorgeous. Oh, I know. I'm from, I think my DNA said the Netherlands. But I was doing my research, and I have a Swedish ancestor really, really far back, like 1700s. So, anyway. I found out I'm like almost 40% Scottish. I was like, that was a surprise. I knew Irish, English, I knew, and look at me. I'm the most Anglo-Saxon person you'll find. If you say the word son, I'll burn. So I knew probably where I was probably from. Scottish was a surprise. But anyway, back to what we were talking about. So, yeah, and we were talking about the community. So what I like about the community is And I've said this many times. You've all heard me say this many times. What happens if you don't pay what you owe Scientology? You just escape and owe thousands. What can they do? Exactly. Usually the reason somebody pays it off is because they're still in as a public and they want to stay in good standing. Aaron did it. Aaron paid his and his wife's freeloader debt off. He said they got pregnant on purpose to get out of the Sea Org, but all of their family and friends were still in. His job, he went into a job with a Scientologist, so they paid off $40,000 in debt to stay in good standing. And I'm touching this nasty vent. Yeah, stop doing that. So that's the only reason, if you're like, or if you're trying to route out the right way. There's somebody in black coming. Then you'll pay it to get out again on good standing so they don't bother you. And they will. You know how they coerce and chase you down? When this eventually unravels, I expect to see a number of people in court. Most of them are on the aftermath board. It's in plain sight. It's possible. They need to have a class action lawsuit. But a lot of laws have changed now to where you used to be able to file what do you call it, a civil lawsuit before a criminal, but they've changed it now to where you're, for certain stuff, whew, this part's good, certain stuff, you have to do criminal before you can do civil. Freeloader debts, RICO charges, yep, I can't wait to see that. Can't wait for that fan to come in. This is not working, it's too big. There's no wind today. I need my inhaler. I can't call again until Monday. It's the thing about being, so I had off-post doctors for 20 years. You could decide to do that even though you were military. You just had to pay the copay. Well, a few years ago, quite a few years ago now, maybe been almost 10. They made everybody within a 30-mile drive or 30-minute drive, I think, or 45. You had to come on post and go to Darnell to the clinic. And I'm like, at the time, I had so much crap wrong with me, and my doctor knew me. Thank God they let me keep my pain management doctor because he was amazing. This is not working. The wind is going somewhere else. Oh, I got something smaller. So this might help. I was gonna give this to Colin if he has a girl. My husband gets these when they're expired for free. Oh, Susan! Oh. You need a big beadhead. I was thinking, I was fine there for the first little while. This is not working. I'm not gonna make you watch me do that. Oh, I was considering seeing if they have a reflective umbrella that I could hold. And then I would be able to stand over there on the corner. But like I said, I just took my hat off because it made my head cooler. And I'm not in the sun, so. Oh my goodness. my god. I'm gonna have to sit down, guys. I'm moving everything, so just look away. Look away. Look away. Look away. Look away. Don't watch. I get motion sickness super easy. I'm only gonna stay a little while longer. I'm shaking the tripod, I'm lowering it. Oh, that's pretty good. I think that's low enough. I'd like to keep it farther away, but I can't see the super chats. I'm going to lower that a little bit more. Still get the door. I'm not going to be doing any more yelling. Chat, yeah. Susan, I'm on inhaler. Yeah, I don't need it very often. It's inside. I'm inside. Oh, this is really cool. I'm at least here with my sign. I made it an hour. Let's see. Oh, hon, I don't know what stage of menopause I'm in. I'm 55. I've had the hot flashes for 10 years. It's horrible. Yeah. You're adorable. Thanks. Never been called adorable. Can anybody check the temperature in Austin, Texas? I never did. I was perfectly fine for the first hour, and it got shadier. Fan for the neck. I got one coming. I know, I want to be in Paris General, but there's just not enough of us here. I'm not that scared. I mean, it upset me. I'm not scared. Because I'm going to get him before he gets me. Matter of fact. Let me get my cane out. It was kind of buried. I'm not going to stay much longer. I wanted to finish what we were talking about. I'm drinking plenty of water. That's not an issue. I got a fan for the neck, but it's actually not too worth it. But try it. The one I'm getting hangs right here, and you can put water in it. I didn't get the neck one, and I ordered a stand-up fan that can stand right by my face. It's tall. It says it'll last a bunch of hours. I only need it to last 2. And I usually never wheeze. I have one of those asthmas that you don't wheeze. That's still too high. Hold on. I'm lowering again. Look away. Because I don't want you to have to look up my nostrils while I'm reading the text. I'm going to get smaller glasses so it brings up... See, look, if I had my bifocals here, I'd only have to lift a little. But my son... I got these. They're Michael Kors. I'm not bougie like that. They were on sale. And my insurance covered the price. So I'm like, yeah, let's get those. And I love them because bifocals are new for me. So I really wanted a large area without bifocals so I could learn to look. So I have to make, and the reason they're so low is I work on my crafts, I work on jewelry, I read, I color. Oh. So it worked well for looking down at my lap, having them low. I have another pair, I just can't find them that are smaller. Yep, damn hot flashes. I swear I want to get a new thermometer that goes across the forehead so when one hits, I know I'm 104 dang degrees. 93 but feels like 99, Miranda. Oh my god, that's why. Holy crap. It wasn't that hot when I left. That's what happened in the humidity. Are you allowed pepper spray there? I need to check on that. Air quality moderate. Yeah. Air quality in Texas is okay except for like Houston, but I am downtown Austin. So that could be part of it. We got my allergies under control with the serum years ago. I've never wheezed like this before. General, I work with mostly older patients, and as we get older, heat is not a good thing. Yeah, plus, I told him last time this happened, when everything went down, I had heat exhaustion in basic training in '86, 3 times. They were having a heat wave, and I was from up north, and I was in the south. So once you have it, it makes you very susceptible. I think I feel some wind now. The wind just showed up. Once the wind starts back up, I feel good. Sitting down helped. Cold water helps with asthma attacks too. My daughter had it in middle school. I'd never had one I had to go to the hospital for, and I never had a bad one. My inhalers, go back, I'm just going to be nice. Hi. Starting to buffer. So, I'd never had a bad one. And we had to go pick her up from middle school, and the nurse didn't do anything for her. Didn't undo her clothes, didn't help her. I don't even think didn't give her inhaler. I took her to the doctor and told her that the nurse didn't help her because she said, you're not wheezing, you're not having an asthma attack. My doctor lost her crap and wrote this strongly worded note on her prescription pad, front and back, about how asthmatics don't always wheeze. And anyway, I had my first real bad one in 2011 after I got sick. And it felt like an elephant was sick. This is what I normally get. It just gets a little hard to breathe. It never usually gets worse than this. And usually I hate taking my inhaler. If you have one, it makes you jittery. So I only take it if I'm real bad. Which I would take it now because I'm not at home. If I was at home, I'd just lay down and let it pass. When I had that bad one, my daughter was there, and she walked me through it. She's like, you need to sit still, you need to drink cold water, breathe shallow. And I'm like, I looked at her and I said, this is what you've been going through all these times? I'm like, I had no idea. No idea. And that's really the only really bad one I've had. I think I've had 2 others that were kind of bad. But I've never gone to the hospital. They usually pass within 30 minutes. Oh, air quality. Oh, I was going to tell you about the glasses. So when my son saw me, have y'all seen Monsters, Inc.? The lady that's always on Wazowski? He said, that's who I look like. I look like the lady that says Wazowski with these on. I was like, oh, well, I like them anyway. I like funky glasses. I've had striped glasses. This is about the funkiest I can find. And I sculpt my own nails. I started getting them in 95, and just by watching, I bought the stuff. And I always had bright, ridiculous nails. I don't really dress bright, but I would do those. Getting ready for work, I'm still here. Thanks, Lori. Yeah, I watch a lot of people when I'm driving. And I'll tell them I'm driving, and then I'll comment. It's only because I'm stopped at a light or something, and I have to. But it's, Miranda, thanks. Yeah, heat is scary. I've had sun poisoning here, too. Not one person has entered one F-sign to a building. No, that guy did. Well, not new people. Not new people. Not real new people. Trolls. A lot of these students love to go in and troll. That's the Austin temp. Yeah, it's probably like a few degrees cooler where I live. But the weather changes so much in a 70-mile, 75-mile drive that we have to check the weather every time before Tom leaves for work. See if he needs rain gear or not, or how he needs to dress. Because then he works an hour north. The only thing that's stopping me from pushing up into this living in our camper in Waco is then I got a 2-hour commute to here. More than 2 hours. I'm good now that the wind has picked up and I got my cold water out. The bottles of water go. I'm only going to stay. I want to stay at least an hour and a half. I drive such a long way. I like to make it worse. I'm good. In general. So, yeah. I watch a lot of kids stuff because when I was younger, I watched like Chicago, MD, dramas and stuff. I'm not as interested in those anymore. I like sci-fi fantasy, but because I've been bedridden for so many years, and I still am kind of homebound a little bit, until I come here. I watched everything. So I watch a lot of like kids type shows and stuff. I really like them. Like kids, detectives and things like that. Monsters Inc. Hey, Dira. Aaron is in Montreal already? I knew he was going. I didn't realize when. Awesome. That's awesome. We'll definitely go hit up his live. I am going to go soon. But yeah, what I was trying to get at while we were talking about Mike Render and that and the little bit of drama that there is. I've always said there's only like less than 5% of this community that's like that. And we pretty much ignore them until we can't. And if you look at their followers, they're very small. Like that, I don't know who that woman is that was giving Aaron a hard time and had Mitch Brisker on her channel. But I remember when, I think Nora, somebody was talking about showing her channel. It was somebody else before that happened. And I looked at her subscriber and watched, she had like, I do, she had like 10 people on. So, and then I've heard I don't know how to say that, of the Discord group that are hateful. And that's all I had to hear. They're hateful. I don't need them. I don't ever go there. I like being in the chat of live streams, and that's, to talk about whatever's going on or whatever. But I'm not somebody that wants to sit all day long and just be in a chat room and talk hateful stuff about people. And then you've got the aftermath people. I mean, it's a small group. So I've been wondering where it is. Oh, where Aaron's at? I need to do this when I'm looking, so you're not looking up my nose. But this is also dry runs for when it gets worse. So I wore jeans too. I need to get, I don't have any shorts because I don't like, I have capris, so it's really not a big difference between capris and jeans. So, and this is a very lightweight shirt. I love them. That's why you see, I have 2 of them and I wear the crap out of them. So that's why I don't worry about that group that much anymore, because they've been shown for what they are. And I've always said this community, just to be in the chat, just to watch these channels and to hear what people have to say, you have to have a level of compassion to even be there. Except for the people that want to be trolls and jerks. There's a small percentage of those. But, you know, for the most part, it's a great community. And everybody that's coming out, I mean, I don't know exactly what happened with Daniel in LA. I don't get to watch the LA channels enough because, I mean, they're on for like 3 to 5 hours each. And then something happens in the middle. Luckily, I see DOA, he'll clip stuff out. So I kind of wait for Natalie to bring it up and tell me what's going on. So just on the information that I have, and I watched the interview with Aaron, I mean, I think William was a little hard on him. And I think everybody's been a little hard on him. He's just a dude that came out, that doesn't know a lot. I mean, I had to do a deep dive for 1.5 years before I came out here to get to know. And I still, oh my God, this guy is smoking, and I can't do it. I can't. If the wind would keep going this way, I'm okay. I'm allergic to smoke, and I'm getting better though. Can you hear the wheezing's gone? So, I know I don't mind if you guys go to Aaron's channel. I'll probably start over and watch it on. You know what? I'm gonna have to go. I can't sit here with the smoke. So anyway, I'll be back. Oh, so I got the Dianetics book in the mail. I haven't even cracked it yet. So I'm gonna go over the first chapter tonight. Tomorrow at 3. I'm doing a live from my house to go over chapter 1 of Dianetics, because I'm just interested in this book because it got so many people into it. I want to see what the heck they read and why. And if it's short, I'll read the whole thing. If it's not, I'm just going to do some highlights and talk about, you know, kind of what it goes over. And every Sunday, I'm going to do a new chapter. If it's really short, I might do 2 chapters. That way, y'all don't have to buy it. I see other people that read it are like, I couldn't read it. It was ridiculous. But there's people like me that are just curious. I don't want to read everything Scientology wrote. But a lot of the parents of the people that are in now read that back in the day. And they're selling it again. But I got a pre-2007 copy. And I saw on Reddit, somebody did a Reddit post where they showed all the different things that David Miscavige changed. It's a dump in Montreal, but now I know. Okay, I see. Oh, you wanted to know where the org was. Oh, thanks, Lori. I appreciate it. Yeah, I now know why Paraditology came to Austin. Because I wanted to come, I was going to Houston to see my son's school, which I'm trying to talk him out of. It's in a horrible neighborhood, and I don't want him there. And he can do the same thing in Waco. He didn't realize this. He thought it was he didn't even know they had a school for that in Dallas, which is an easier drive. And so he's supposed to be calling, but so he's supposed to be calling them and switching over to Waco because it's shorter, because he has to come back and visit with his son, so he can't be too far. And it's because of Baylor University, and because it's Waco. It's so much better neighborhood, and the housing is geared towards students. So, and Houston, oh my God, the whole neighborhood was boarded up. I mean, not boarded up. Had bars and stuff. Hi. What you want to know?
I have a decent amount of knowledge.
Good. Good. Yeah, if you want to take a picture of that card, these are all ex-Scientologists that were forced in as children, and they have channels on YouTube now. That's who I watched and learned about it. Because I've never been in. I just did a deep dive, and when they opened here, I decided to come out.
I think people just get washed into the idea of being part of something. So
Yeah, that's
if
it.
you're not, and if you've never been a part of something and you have a
Yeah.
lot of money,
That's why they opened here.
yeah. Money.
But
There's so much money here in our economy is booming. It's like, why would you not come here? Also,
Yeah.
there's a lot of tech bros who like are insecure about themselves. So
yeah, and they do have a lot of people in this that have a lot of money.
oh, awesome.
Because they get pats on the back when they donate a bunch of money.
Yeah, I heard the thing like move up is when you get people to come in here, like when you get a lot of people to start coming in and they start spending a lot of money, that's when you start moving up the ranks.
Yeah, it's like a pyramid scheme. It's a money making
It's like
scheme.
What was
You
that?
get a percentage of anybody you bring
Have you
in.
ever heard of Forex before? It's like Forex.
10x, you mean?
Or 10x.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like 10x.
Grant Cardone, he's one of the biggest donors.
Nice. What's your name?
Miss Kim,
Miss Kim. Was nice
my
to meet
hand's kind of sticky from
you.
the.
It's alright.
All right. Yeah, and that's my channel too.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. He was looking at my sign, and he says, "I got a decent amount of knowledge." I said, "Good." They mostly do. I don't even remember what I was talking about, but that's why I like this community. And Brandon was on here earlier. I knew him from the Popcorn Planet community, and I was watching it. See, if I hadn't have been bedridden, I would have never been such a YouTube watcher. Because, like I said, I got kind of tired of TV, and I love to watch documentaries on history and archaeology and things like that. Well, the Johnny Depp trial happened, and I went through a few channels the first couple weeks, and all I could find was people going, "Oh my gosh, did you see what she said today?" And that's it, like 2 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever. And I stumbled on Popcorn Planet, and they watched it all day. They were recapping the day. They were having lawyers on to talk about what went on, what it meant, and really, I can't think of the word, but really tearing it apart, looking at it. And ever since then, I've been a fan because he does do pop culture justice, and I'm not that big into it, but I don't mind watching. Anyway, the community there he has is really fun. And you have Miss Kim from Canada, or It's Kim from Canada, and you have Steph the Ultra Nerd, and you have Lewis from Nerd Report. So anyway, I've went to 3 Popcorn Planet meetups. I've met Lewis twice. I've met Steph twice. I met Kim once, because she can only come once. And Andy 3 times, because Andy was in Houston by himself one time. Right when we started here in February, he announced he was going to be in Houston, and we did the 7-hour round trip just to go visit for the evening and talk. That was the first time I had one-on-one talk with him, because before there were so many people, and my husband wasn't with me. So it's so fun to see both communities, because they're both good communities. They really are. And Andy's getting bigger. You know, he was in Hollywood before, and he's done production, and he made a movie, and he's done a lot of that. And he had a good channel on YouTube, but he left it and moved to Florida to start over. So I've watched him blow up. So watching him blow up after the trial, I knew what I was seeing with Aaron and SPTV. As soon as they named it, because Andy didn't want to name the community. We should have been the Planeteer. He said, "Oh, we don't need to name it." Yeah, you do. Because when you name something and people feel more of a part of it, when SPTV got named, within 30 days, I had bought a domain to create a website for SPTV, just like upcoming events and everything. And that's why my email to this channel, which I didn't want it to be part of this channel, is sptvnetworks@gmail, to go with the website, because they've got the different pages they're creating. Well, imagine if we could have that all in one place, and we could have all the contact information. This guy is driving me crazy. We could have all the contact information and upcoming events and when people are traveling and everything all in one place and links to sptv.space. And so, but I can't do that by myself. I need help. And so I contacted Claire in Super Chats. And I said, hey, I've gotten a domain. It was only $12 for the year. But I didn't know how to create a webpage. I tried to create a webpage for my crafts. And I've been paying for it for probably 10 years. And just because I wanted to keep the .com. And I haven't done anything with it. So... anyway, I contacted her like 3 times and she said, well, email me. I'm totally interested. I have ideas. Nothing. So after the debacle, I tried to contact Aaron. I haven't pushed it that hard because there's other pages people are creating and things. So, also my phone was getting hot. I think it died a lot quicker than it normally would. Yeah, I'll watch his live. I was watching his live from LA this like 4 days ago. So I watched Natalie first, and then I needed something for the rest of the drive, so I only watched the first part. So, what was I getting at? I love talking about the community. I really do. Also, and Popcorn Planet. And then, so, that made me see what SPT was going to do. I could see it exploding. And Aaron is, there's no leader. There really isn't. But he was the driving force. He was the one encouraging every single person he talked to start a channel. Even if you only have one video up of your story, that the more channels there are, the more saturated the market is, the more chance that people will find us and not Scientology propaganda. Thanks, Lori. I appreciate it. Yeah, last I checked yesterday, I was less than 300 hours from the first step on monetization, because I really don't care about memberships and super chats. I really just want the ad revenue. But I've already picked out my member levels. Let me know what you think. So because I kind of took the Army, my whole life has been Army. From the time I was 17, now, and when I was 14, the whole time I was in high school, I was in Navy ROTC. That's where my husband and I met. And we both enlisted in the Army Reserves because our commander suggested it because they had the best college program at the time, because you don't get the GI Bill and stuff in the reserves. We got a $14,000 loan repayment. That was it. And I didn't know how to do student loans, and no counselor was talking to me. What made me mad is I even got an ROTC academic scholarship to college, and my counselor nobody told me how to do it. I mean, I was coming from a single mom on food stamps. Nobody I knew had gone to college. I didn't know there was assistance. And so this college wasn't near a major city. And it was a 2.5-hour commute from my house. And I'm like, it's only academic. What am I going to do to pay my room and board? There's nowhere to get a job. So I gave it up, not knowing there was something out there that could help me, and nobody did. So anyway, that's why we went in the Army and not the Navy, and I regret it ever since. So when my son went in, we told him, no Army, no Marines. You can do Coast Guard, Air Force, or the Navy, because you're not going to sleep on the ground. So he got into the Navy and spent 4.5 years. He just got his disability from the Navy. He didn't know he could get disability for his stuff. Neither did we. He's 36 now. He's been out since 2012. For 12 years. Thanks, General. So, yeah, and me being on here and talking about my issues, I didn't never do that to complain or get sympathy. What I'm doing is, there might be somebody out there that might not think they can do it. I mean, I started with a selfie stick and my phone. I'm still using my regular phone even though I didn't want to. I tried buying another phone. I tried hotspotting to my phone. It just didn't work out. And it's a flip phone. I've got the holder right on the hinge. So it works fine. So the reason I bring it up is hopefully things helped me get better, my diet and things like that. So I hope that that'll happen for somebody else. If you have any kind of inflammation or autoimmune disease, if you go gluten-free and stay away from processed foods, eat fresh or frozen produce. I get organic when I can afford it. I went from a weak kitten, unable to hold a remote. I couldn't even open envelopes. I had hired an assistant while my husband was in Iraq to help me, to being able to get out of bed and have more energy and do some of those things. And that was just changing my diet. It took me several years to do it, and I'm still on that diet. And when I cheat and have regular pizza or something, my body says, yeah, you shouldn't have done that. So, but seeing this community explode, I told my husband, I said, if we don't have a de facto leader, then Aaron is the godfather of SPTV. You know, I remember when he encouraged Jenna to start a channel, and because he announced it, and I think she had one, she didn't have any content up yet. She got like 2,500 subscribers that night before she even had any content up. He got me my first 50 subscribers that I needed. And then ProSnap, he got me another 50. So, because I still don't know, if you drop below 50 subscribers, can you not go live anymore, or do you just keep your status once you start? I'm feeling so much better now. Just that little bit of wind and the cold water helped so much if I'm fasting. It was an asthma attack. That wasn't just the heat. I was having an asthma attack. So, being able to sit's nice. Glad you guys don't mind, but it kind of keeps me away from the door. But with the heat, I may have to do this quite a bit. I don't know how all this stuff works either. Yeah, I learned as I went. I hate watching YouTube videos, how-to videos. I'm a book reader because I want to be able to read a book and go back pages if I need to and read over something. I don't know how many, and I don't know how many videos I went through, watch, for trying to learn how to edit on my laptop. I know how to do it on my phone, and they kept sending me to YouTube Edit. All that does is trim the ends off when I want to cut a piece out. So I wasted so much time on like 5 or 6 videos until I finally just realized I needed to download the editing software. I get my kids to do my stuff. If I had my grandkids here, they could help me. Yeah. My kids are in their 30s, so they're not savvy either. If they were, my daughter just downloaded TikTok like a month or 2 ago. And, I downloaded TikTok on this phone, and I never wanted to have it, and I took it right back off, and I put it on a phone that's not on service, and my phone wigged out the whole time until I had a software update. I thought that was weird, so I won't have TikTok. I made a TikTok channel. I guess I need to put some content out, but isn't it getting banned or something? Many are both tech savvy. Oh, mine are both tech savvy. That's nice. What happened with me is I was standing over there the day before the opening, and because I was coming out, I didn't care if I filmed. I filmed Pro Snappy a little bit. I was just coming out to hold a sign and be loud. These college boys came up. We talked for a long time, and I mentioned it, and he's like, "Well, just do this." And while I'm standing there, he helped me go live. So when I edited the crazy guy last week, I did that on my phone. The only problem is if you were watching when I put it out, I had to do it 3 times. I had 17 views on one video. I don't even know how I did it. So I took the video and I just wanted to take off the whole first part because it goes to the end. Well, somehow I cut off the end too. So I put it out and I watched it. I should have watched it first. Well, when I watched it in the edit, it was there. But when I put it on YouTube, it wasn't. And so you miss Colin standing there telling me call 911 and all that. So I did it again and put it out and realized and thought I did it wrong again. No, it was fine. It was right. Took it down, did it a third time, got it right, and then I put it up. So I don't know if I still get those views or not, but that's why I uploaded it like 3 different times. So I'm learning. I'm gonna have to learn tonight how to go live at home with my gimbal. I set up my I have a chase lounge. So we have a sectional that has a chase on one end. But God, I got it again because it would fit my daughter's family, my son. It would fit everybody. It's huge. It takes up my whole living room. But it was driving me crazy. It's hard to clean around. So we put it back the way we had it once before. We took off the chase, turned it, made it an L-shaped couch, put the chase in a corner, and that the chase was always supposed to be my spot. So I've got a really nice spot set up now. We just did that last week, I think. Got the furniture all done, and it's my picture corner, and it looks nice. So that's the only spot in my house I think looks nice enough. So that's where I'll be tomorrow. And I bought these. Oh, they're so awesome. I will take a picture of them or something. I have these C-shaped tables that will sit wherever you are and go under, and you can sit your drink on it. And mine has an outlet and a shelf. And because I like to sit in one place with I have a mug warmer for my hot coffee and all that. I bought that for the living room around Christmas time. Then I got my son the same thing because he had a sectional, and you don't have end tables. You don't have a table, and he had an ottoman as his coffee table. I do too. And so I got one of those for me, and I got him a 2-pack for him and his girl when she lived there. They're awesome. I love them. I love mine. But what it was is when I visited my daughter last September, I was there for a month. And I always have a cup of ice. I eat ice, and I have my cold brew coffee. So I bought one at her house for me, and I had to leave it there because I was flying. Yeah, they talked me into getting the Omni DJI. I don't use it on here. I don't see the point. What I bought it for, you can only use when you're filming. When you're live streaming, it's not available. The app almost is useless. The, what do you call it? Zoom wheel is worthless. So the only thing I have is, it's nice. It does keep the phone. I used it at Squirrel Fest because I knew I'd be walking a lot. So it does help that. And it does give you the button to go up, down, left, right if you need to, which I didn't. There were times where I did change it. So I'll be using that on my little C table on my chase. Hopefully, I'm going to do tonight I'm going to do a dry run on camera, see how it looks. I might even do a dry live, or dry run. I might do a practice live. Hi, Bob. Nice to see you. I'm about to be done soon, although I'm feeling so good now. So I might stay a little bit longer. I think I am going to go to one of the places I ate before. That was so good. It was a Buddha bowl, and they had a gluten-free menu. And I even added extra vegetables, and not knowing how big it was, I ate there, took it home, and ate 3 more times on it for like $15 or less than $20. So what I was doing a while back, the last few times I just wanted to get home. I'd look up a really good rated restaurant in the area or on the way home, and I would go try a different restaurant. I know not to go below 4.5 again. Because the 4.2 I went to was the most horrible thing I've ever eaten in my life. I haven't left a review yet. I'm a big reviewer. You can find me on Google Reviews as Miss Kim too, because I use my Google. I left Walgreens a book on why we were leaving Walgreens. Because I'm very opinionated. I think you kind of have to be out here like this. And I'm like, you know, I never imagined when I heard this open and I wanted to come down the week before. All I wanted to do was show them they weren't wanted. And Pearl Snappy was already here. And I told her, I said, I don't want to be on camera. I still don't like it. My teeth are still... One of the things I like about the app that comes with the gimbal, if you're filming, they have filters that'll whiten your teeth, slim your face, but I can't use it live streaming. So anyway, I also want to turn this Dianetics thing into a call-in show. As soon as I figure out StreamYard and Zoom and stuff, either that or what I was considering, I've seen people do, I'm going to get that third phone. It's going to be just for, and I think I can get a fake phone number somehow with an app. But if I get the third phone, I don't care who has the number, because it's not going to be my personal phone. You can call in and I can hold it up to the mic. I'm going to be using I tested my mics yesterday on, me and my daughter were on Messenger, and she said they sounded great. So I was going to sit here and get the Velcro out and fix my mic while we talked. I was going to I brought markers. I was going to redo my sign, but I didn't feel good, so we didn't do that. Oh, honey, I usually have, this holds a whole 16-ounce bottle of water. Then I bring one in the car, to drink. Where'd it go? Hello? Can't even find it. Anyway, ooh, I got dizzy. Shouldn't have been over. I was doing that at home. Then I bring another bottle I have in my console. So I usually don't drink a lot of that. I'm usually drinking the coffee on the way here. Then when I make my pit stop, I need it. And I started out doing it so that they didn't mind me using the restroom. And now that I have the wagon, I sit the wagon between the two tables. Nobody's usually in there. And I give them a 50-cent tip when I buy my water, because they watch my wagon for me while I go make my pit stop. So this is all gone. I finished one of the other bottles, and I'll be on my third on the way home. I have a cup of ice sitting in my car. I hadn't eaten it yet. We got one of those ice makers that makes the I eat ice, and I do know that is a symptom of low iron, eating ice. But I've always had low iron. I've tried taking iron and it doesn't do any different. I just have to live with it. General, you can ask some of the students that walk by you, get to know some. I bet they will help you. I would like to. She's talking on the phone. I should. Actually, what I want to do, if it wasn't this hot, and classes are out. When classes start again, if I feel up to it, I need to start going to the gym too. We've heard that they're on campus trying to sell books or give out the tickets for their movie or whatever on campus instead of out here. So I've been wanting to go back. I think the day I went, because they were having this big alumni and seniors getting their ring thing, they didn't bother. Or it was too early. And see, that's another thing. Everybody wants us to protest together. One, I can't come when Pearl Snappy does until we get our other vehicle fixed, because my husband needs it by 9 p.m. So I have to leave by 7. That's one of the reasons. Well, she gets here at 5:30. But that's one of the reasons I come at the time that I do. Plus, usually by the time I'm in the car and I'm on the way home, he's waking up. Or when I get home, he's waking up. We have another vehicle. Last summer it was triple digits for 3 months, and he was driving to work in it, and all the electrics died. We changed the alternator, it didn't help, and he smelled burning wires. We think the heat melted some wires. We're lazy. We need to take the camper in. We did do the claim on the damage from the hail. I'm waiting to hear about that. And we need to take our car to our mechanic and find out exactly where these wires might be messed up. So if we could do that, we'd have 2 vehicles. I wouldn't care. I could come whenever I felt like it. I could come Fridays during graduation. So, first world problems and procrastination. My husband and I are both horrible at it. So, I'm feeling good enough to walk back to the car. I think I'm going to go. But I appreciate y'all hanging out while I babble. I didn't feel up to yelling anymore. And once I get Monday, I will get my inhaler. I did get my inhaler, but he sent it. The way that they're doing the pharmacy on base at the hospital is so bass-ackwards, it makes no sense. So you're there. You're done with your appointment. Normally they would call down your prescription, you'd get a number and you'd wait. Then you would go up, tell them you need your prescription, sit back down, wait for them to fill it. And they've changed this many times. This is the most stupid I've seen. Now, even though you're there and you're retired and you just made a special trip, you have to call and activate your prescription and wait on them to call you back that it's ready. So you have to make 2 trips. And I guess I did get it called down, but I was so irritated. Well, I've been going to Darnell, the hospital, for like 10 years and going through this mess. My doctor just told me last time I was there that he can call prescriptions in anywhere I want. And I'm like, oh my gosh, please call him to my pharmacy. I would rather pay the copay and be able to just go and pick them up and we've been doing that with our meds for a long time. There's a few that are kind of expensive, but it's such a pain in the butt. It's worth it. And now I found out they have delivery. Yeah. I really wanted to talk more and do a little bit more talking to these people. Hopefully soon we will get my sign done. We haven't touched it. We had some other things, because I was here on Wednesday last week and all that happened. That's like his good one day off, but I don't know why I came that day and not another. I asked if he wanted to go. I even wanted to see if my son wanted to go, because we could have went out to dinner after or something. I went to Whole Foods one day afterwards. I should do that. Because I can't get produce when I get Walmart groceries or my grocery store groceries delivered, because they bring me stuff that looked like it was kicked around in a soccer match. So I don't. So the only time I can get produce is if I go get it myself. And I usually only get to do that like once or twice a month when I'm coming back. It was before I started doing this, because I usually wasn't even out of the house. But it was nice. I stopped at oh my gosh, I almost filmed for you guys in there, because it takes up a whole city block. It's like I don't know if it's their flagship, or I don't know if they have other ones that big. But I've seen their ones that are in different neighborhoods that are not that. It took us 2 trips of 2 hours to see the whole thing. Like, to really go up and down every aisle and see it. I went to their produce department. I was like, they didn't have that much. Not that much that I needed. And some of it didn't look that good. So, I don't know what's going on. So then, the other night I stopped at Walmart because I had to take my son's car back to him. And I didn't know his Walmart is so small. So small. I almost didn't get much. I got enough for stir fry. I love stir fry. If I make a stir fry, I make enough for 4 or 5 people. We eat on it for 2 days. I love vegetables. I wish I'd have been this into vegetables when the kids were young. I'm babbling. I'm just waiting to get up. And then I have to pack up my stuff in the car. I don't want to move. I'm gonna let y'all go. Thanks for the watch hours. Thanks for coming. Tomorrow, 3 p.m. If you're interested, we're gonna go over the first chapter of Dianetics, and I may, depends on how many people show up. If a lot of people really want to talk about it, I may look before tomorrow to see. There's a way that they do it when they call false calls. There's a way that you can disguise your phone number. I'm gonna see how to do that. Or I'm thinking seriously about going tomorrow before 3 if AT&T's open on a Sunday, and go ahead and getting in that third phone. So we'll see. I'll look up tonight to see different ways that I can do that, because I would rather do a call-in than people trying to type and everything. So it was great being with you guys today, and I will see y'all tomorrow at my house. Bye, y'all.